think we have got, in my opinion at least, the outstanding fighter of the competition so far. He's looked absolutely supersonic, but he'll need to be again to get the win tonight. Because as I mentioned, Suyunbay himself is a formidable performer. And he's watched Tashkenbay pick up a gold medal for Kazakhstan in the opening bout. And you just watch him make his way to the ring there. He's a tall, angular, lean kind of a fighter. Good height, good reach on him. Tsutsumi is smaller, more compact, but has done a really good job of closing that gap, closing that distance, and in particular finding a home for his lead right hand. Just shooting it up from a little bit of a crouch southpaw stance at times.
Ladies and gentlemen, please into the ring to the blue corner from Japan, Reito Tsutsumi.
Well, Tsutsumi, the 2019 Asian Youth Champion, he got a stoppage against Danilo Salerni early on, beat Jalal Gurbanov of Azerbaijan, and then in his last two fights in particular has been impressive. Javier Herrera Montero of Cuba, he almost took out in the final round, and then in the semis he was in with European Youth Champion Radoslav Rozanov, and Rozanov barely laid a glove on him, and by the end of the fight you could see just how demoralised Rozanov was. He was expecting it to be at least competitive, and he just couldn't really get near him. Kicked the ropes at the final bell in pure frustration. It's just something the coach always does before the start of the fight. He has a good tug on his ears. I've not quite worked out what that's about, to be honest with you. But here are our scoring judges: Ireland, Kyrgyzstan, Hungary, USA and Chinese Taipei. Whatever the reason for that manoeuvre by the coach there, it works. So I suggest they keep on doing it. So Tsutsumi in the blue, Suyunbay in the red. And there's a lot of noise around Tsutsumi. Articles written during the course of the tournament, Ron, and people at ringside stopping us today and saying, yeah, watch out for the kid at 60 kilos. But you look at him in the red corner there, and he is tranquility personified. These Kazakhs, these kids, they've been boxing for a long, long time. He's not worried about the reputation of the man opposite.
Certainly not. And the performances he's produced to get here have been impressive indeed. Towering figure of a 60-kilogram lightweight, as evidenced by this face-off here. And as you said, the tactic's quite simple. How does the man in blue get inside that raking reach that the man in red possesses?
Well, he's managed to find a way to do it against his opponents so far. But you can see, as Ron pointed out there, the real physical difference between the two. So Suyunbay quickly to the center of the ring, as was Tsutsumi. Suyunbay in the red, in the orthodox stance, boxing for Kazakhstan. A good 6-8 inches taller than Tsutsumi, who boxes out of a little bit of a crouch, but he's in that very balanced southpaw stance. And again there, immediately, he steps into the inside and manages to reach. That jab travels further than really it has any right to at times. And Suyunbay has got to find a way of catching him on the way in, just so that he can cause him to reset. The key to that jab, when you've got somebody coming forward, it isn't that you've got to hammer them with the jab every time. If you can hit them hard with the jab, then great, but ideally you just need to hit them. It doesn't even need to be in the head at times, it can be on the shoulder, anywhere, just to cause them to step back off and reset. And he did catch him on the way in there, Suyunbay, but again, Tsutsumi has got this habit of being able to get closer up than you think he's going to be able to, and land shots that, as I said previously, he really doesn't have any kind of right to. Suyunbay just backing off there, tangle of front feet, which you often get with orthodox and southpaw fighters. Trying to flick up that jab from the waist there, Suyunbay, then looking for the right hand. Tsutsumi trying to go to the body. Good right hand there from Suyunbay, and he found a good bit of distance there for a few seconds, where he just managed to catch Tsutsumi on the end of a couple. Flicks out the jab, I think mainly blocked by the gloves. but he's doing a decent job here, the Kazakh. As good a job as I've seen anybody do in the competition. But again there, Tsutsumi just steps up onto his toes really and seems to shoot that left hand almost straight up in the air to find the face of his much taller opponent. Again, a decent jab there from Tsutsumi, and throws another one into the final minute of the round. But there's not a great deal in this. Short right hand there from Suyunbay, who's just trying to use that physicality at times and get a hold of Tsutsumi and maybe just throw him around a little bit, do whatever the referee will let him get away with. Just touches the glove with the left hand and didn't throw the right. Tsutsumi came back with a jab. Jab didn't quite get there, but the left hand did. Right hand down the middle from Suyunbay. Happy to keep those gloves low and just prod with the jab. And then try and throw that right hand a bit heavier. Tsutsumi just trying to get him on the run towards the end of the round here. Left hand, I think, did land. No knockdown called by the referee. I'm not sure how solid. It might have been the inside of the glove more that took Suyunbay off balance there, but as Ron said right at the very start, knockdowns do not necessarily result in a 10-8 round, not in AIBA boxing, that's in the professional ring. So, interesting opening round there, split scoring. Tsutsumi gets it with 3 out of 5, but Suyunbay's shown signs there that he can cope with him.
Most certainly. And again, I posed the question, how is this man going to get inside? The bell had only just completed ringing and he was across the ring inside the reach of the man in red. Terrifically quick feet to get him into punching range and landing without reply. But around the midpoint of the round, Suyunbay adopted a hands-down posture and began to pick off his man with straight flicking punches like that. But then a terrifically even round in many respects. The man in blue's work more eye-catching, but Suyunbay not fazed by the attributes of the man that he's facing off against, and did have success once we got beyond the midpoint of that second round. The tactics clear and set.
So into the second round, Yelnur Suyunbay of Kazakhstan in the red, Reito Tsutsumi of Japan in the blue. Tsutsumi taking it with 3 out of the 5 judges there. Good left hand there from Suyunbay, great left hand from Tsutsumi, comes straight back, and you could see that just rock back the head there of Suyunbay. But a decent confident start to the round from the man in red as well, who I think just fancies his chances, as you said, with that hands down posture of just being able to flip those punches and then really sink in that right at times. I think that's what he's looking for. He's got it cocked there and ready to go. Tsutsumi will have to work his way in or leap in from the outside, which is what he often tends to do. Just leading off with a jab there, Suyunbay, picking up those feet. He's caught a couple himself in the early stages of this round. Short right hand there though from the Kazakh, who's boxing in red. Tsutsumi of Japan in the blue. I get the feeling Suyunbay's happy to take one, to land one here every now and again. I think he knows that when he steps forward to catch Tsutsumi on the way in, every now and again he's going to get it wrong, and the Japanese fighter is going to reach him. Referee saying no stamping to Suyunbay. When he does that, he's just trying to draw a lead from Tsutsumi, just kind of stamping with that front foot, making him think that he's going to throw, and that's just an example of how quickly Tsutsumi can close down that distance, close down that gap. And they clashed on the inside, left to the body there from Tsutsumi. He's holding the centre of the ring here. Suyunbay rather, who's holding the centre of the ring. And Tsutsumi, who's picking his punches, I'd say maybe a little bit more carefully than he did in the opening round. As I say that, he looks to try and chase Suyunbay across the ring, heading into the final minute of round 2. Suyunbay looking for the right hand there, but it just cannoned into gloves. A little bit of a messy round this second round. A couple of times fighters have ended up tripping and spilling onto the canvas. Left hand from Tsutsumi. I'm not totally convinced that landed with the knuckle part of the glove, but the referee didn't say anything about it. And the greater number of clean shots really has come from the Japanese fighter. Suyunbay, I think, heading into this last 30 seconds, he's got to have a big last 30 seconds here. I just don't think he's up the tempo in this second round as I thought he might. The way he came out at the beginning of the round. Good left hand there from Tsutsumi, big left hand. You could see, even though his back was to us there, Suyunbay was rocked by that one. You could see it go through his entire body as that left hand landed. And that just put a stamp on it for Tsutsumi, really, in that second round.
Yep, I agree. Tsutsumi more active, although Suyunbay has taken it for Judge E, so it's all square on that scorecard. We've got 3 scorecards tied up at 19 points apiece for judges B and C. It is a 2-point 2018 split in favor of Tsutsumi. And during the course of that second round, he's a very compact, muscular 60-kilogram boxer, which is accentuated more because of the complete contrasting stature possessed by Suyunbay. But you look at Tsutsumi's calves and they look like Manny Pacquiao's, and he uses those to trigger himself into range in the blink of an eye. His balance is beautiful, also lands solid shots off the back foot as well. Very composed in the pocket, and when he triggers with those quick attacks, obviously Suyunbay not designed for that inside type of work, and it's very difficult for him to uncoil his arms and find hooks and uppercuts at mid and short range.
So into the third and final round, and just a reminder of the scores. We've got a 2-point lead for Tsutsumi on one card, a 2-point lead for Suyunbay on another card, then 3 cards tied up at 19-19, and that 4-1 split there, that one that Suyunbay got, absolutely crucial, because if that had gone the other way, then he would have had a mountain to climb here, really. But Tsutsumi just trying to work his way onto the inside. Really nice left hand there, good head movement, and again punching up, finds that left hand. Suyunbay just working those hands as Tsutsumi tracked him down that time. Did have a little bit of success, but those are 2 extravagant, very easy to see clean shots, because the sweat went spraying off the head. You could see the head rock back, and this very much up for grabs. It's those 3 level cards that are the relevant ones here. Suyunbay just looking for the right hand to the body, then rather exaggeratedly rolling out to his right hand side. Tsutsumi once again just trying to step onto the inside and shoot that left hand up. He is generally punching up in his fights, but not usually quite as far as he is today. Because Suyunbay, the Kazakhstan in the red, who wears another one there, and that's 3 times that Tsutsumi has managed to land that single shot. Suyunbay really has got a terrific height advantage here. He's an enormous lightweight. Tsutsumi just managing to turn Suyunbay. The referee having a quick word with the Kazakh about potential holding there. Suyunbay, as we approach the midway point of round 3, again just finds himself in the position here of needing to do a little bit more, certainly as far as I'm concerned. The first half of the round has been Tsutsumi's, and we know that this is tied up as a level fight going into the third and final round. We've got 3 level scorecards. Essentially, this is now a 3-judge fight. Slightly untidy as we're just ticking down to the final minute. The referee's had a word with both of them now about exactly the same thing. Just standing off at range there. Nice wide stand, Suyunbay. Lets his hands go. That's exactly the kind of distance, I think, where he has to do that, because he knows what Tsutsumi's got to do there. He's got to try and close the distance and step in on him, because he can't reach otherwise. When he gets those kinds of opportunities, he's got to let those hands go, and he did it there, finding the right hand. Short right hand from Suyunbay, but answered back by Tsutsumi. And it's been a tale really of single punch success for Tsutsumi in this final round. Suyunbay has had some successes of that description himself, but not as many. Good right hand there though from Suyunbay as Tsutsumi was coming in. Final few seconds. There's another good jab though. Good lead right hand there from Tsutsumi. And you can see the effort that's taken from both fighters as the final bell goes. And interesting final round now. I thought Tsutsumi was, to a degree, Ron, quite circumspect. He was looking for that single shot, punching up with the left hand generally, and he landed it, I think, often enough to get over the line.
That's the impression that I have as well. Very clever display, but look at that, catch and counter. He did take a right hand in response, but I think the more eye-catching shots, such as left crosses like that, just reinforcing the impression the better punch picking came from the man in blue. What say the judges?
The winner on points with split decision. From the blue corner, Reito Tsutsumi, Japan.
Tsutsumi gets it by split decision. It was always going to be a split decision. It's 4 cards to 1. So I think he's taken that final round with all 5 of our judges at ringside there. It did seem a fairly clear round win because, quite honestly, not that much clean landed, and the clean punches that he did land were clear and easy to see. That might sound like a really basic thing to say, but things like that do matter. You land a long punch, the head snaps back, sweat